Alright, hello everybody. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing okay. This is the, let me unplug that. Alright, Typical Gamer podcast. This is kind of an idea that I wanted to do, basically. It's something I wanted to do for a while that just never ended up, I just never had time for it, whereas for now, I feel like I kind of do with kind of my new schedule and things that I'm doing at the moment. I don't know if the branding will stay the Typical Gamer podcast forever. I don't know if things might change. Today it's just me. I'm not gonna have a guest or anything today. Sorry, you might hear click of the mouse, but today it's just me. I probably will have guests, various friends like Nitro and Saucy and maybe Alex even, and just some people along the way. But for today's episode, I feel like this I'm gonna be talking a bit about some of my shit and some other things. It's not only gonna be about me, but I feel like I want to talk about a couple things that I've been dealing with right now that I think pertains to viewers as well. I think the first thing I want to talk about is kind of what's been going on, because I think a lot of people have been asking me where you are, what are you doing, why aren't you uploading, why aren't you streaming even, and I just want to clarify that I apologize if I ever said, I don't think at the beginning of the year I ever said I was going to have a set schedule. I probably said that I wanted to get back on a set schedule, but I don't think that I ever actually confirmed that I was going to be on a set schedule like I did in the previous year. This year so far has been kind of tough for me. This kind of pertains to why I haven't been uploading or doing anything content-wise, really. This year's been kind of tough. Just already, the end of last year was already tough. I had moved kind of not far away, but 20-30 minutes away from my old house, and we were making trips all the time, and it took a little bit for us to really get completely moved. And then by the time we did get completely moved, I had to figure out where my office was and where the internet was going to go and where my bedroom was going to go. Just a bunch of shit, basically. That takes time. I didn't want to rush through it. I didn't want to go too crazy, because I felt like if I rushed through it, it wouldn't be comfortable. I wouldn't be comfortable, and the videos would be bad because I wouldn't be comfortable with my environment or where I was working, in a sense. So I didn't rush that, which I probably should have, to be honest, because that was when most of my viewership kind of took a hit. Not that those viewers didn't come back, because I've had a couple good months this year, which there's only been 2 months, so I guess these months have been pretty good for me not uploading that often. For me, uploading 2 or 3 videos a week, my viewership has been pretty good and my subscriber rate's been pretty good, so I don't mind. But I probably should have rushed getting things ready the end of last year and getting comfortable and figuring out what my schedule was, because it wasn't only my schedule that was kind of changing and things were getting in the way of it, but I also have other people that, my mother and other people that kind of affect my life in certain ways. I'm not going to get into it too much. It's nothing weird or bad or anything. It's just that their schedule is going to affect my schedule because of things that I have to do because of their schedule, if that makes any sense to you. So everyone's schedule was kind of changing around, and I didn't really know what I was going to do, and I was planning on moving this year, which I still am planning. I hope I can get that done. Moving myself, that is, not my whole family, just me, to live in Colorado. But the whole plan was to kind of do that this year, and that's what a lot of my focus has been on these past 2 months, because I feel like these past 2 months have been my most inconsistent. But these past 2 months have been a real rough time. Sorry if you hear my phone. I'm trying to I need to move it away from the mic. These last 2 months have been pretty, just not rough, but they've been difficult, I guess is the way to put it. Is I've been dealing with a lot and been dealing with a lot of different things, and I guess to start with, YouTube is changing a lot, and ad revenue is basically non-existent, which it is what it is. I was making a bit of money off my videos just to at least pay for games, or occasionally get a new webcam or a new headset or a new mic, things like that. Just little things that don't affect me greatly, but do affect the content a small amount. And that basically just went boop and went away because of PewDiePie and Logan Paul and just all these people who are kind of affecting everyone else's shit. So YouTube changed, adpocalypse, all that shit that was going on during my move, and it's still affecting me now. I think it's still affecting everyone now. Um, so I started streaming a little bit. I streamed when I could. I streamed when I felt like it. I wasn't thinking of it as an actual like path to go down. Um, and we'll get into that later. But for now, I want to keep on like the YouTube topic. YouTube changed a bunch, and I kind of got lost in a sense of what I should be doing because I felt like you couldn't really make the YouTube in 2018 is not the YouTube that you can just make anything you want and still keep good viewership unless you have already a couple 100,000 subscribers. Then you could probably do what you want and you'll be able to pick back up the viewership on another thing. But I feel like now with smaller channels, you can't just do what you want. You can't just make Let's Plays and hope something happens. You're going to have to go through and make videos that pertain to topics that are going on right now, kind of almost like news in a sense, like, make a video about Logan Paul if there's drama about Logan Paul and stuff like that. Whereas if you were a gaming channel and you just wanted to make gaming videos, those smaller channels are suffering because you're just not going to get that viewership or you're not going to get promoted or just any of it. And I feel like also the viewers on YouTube have just been fucking stupid lately. Like everyone who watches YouTube right now, I feel like is just in a steady decline. Everyone's watching Logan Paul and Jake Paul, like all these big YouTubers who just are ruining it for everyone else. I would say is probably the best way to put it. Is you could talk as much shit about these YouTubers as you want, but they still have like 19 million subscribers in like a year, So it's just the overall viewership and the people that watch YouTube right now are very just not a good group, if I could say. I mean, there are good people. There are good viewers. There are good people. There are people who don't really support these people and what they do, and that's okay. And there are a certain amount, but there are also billions of people who do support them and then make it tough for everyone else, if that makes any sense. But so yeah, a lot of stuff is changing with YouTube, and that affected me just because they kind of changed the algorithm again, in a sense. And even if you were monetized, you're probably not going to get a lot of ad revenue, and you most likely aren't monetized because you'll be under review forever, and you're just going to be fucked, basically. So that's kind of where I've been at YouTube-wise, and that's kind of why I haven't been that motivated to get too crazy on the video grind, because it's really just in a bad place. I can like kind of see YouTube going in a steady decline, and it's affecting everyone, and I don't really want to be a part of it until things kind of get back to where it should be, because I feel like there's no place for me in the new YouTube and in what it is now. So if that makes any sense for anyone, I'm sorry if it doesn't. I'm sorry if you don't even give a shit about YouTube or anything, but you can easily skip to whenever I'm not talking about it. Which, I mean, I'm pretty much done talking about. That's pretty much all I wanted to say about that was YouTube is basically becoming a shit pile. But, it is what it is. You move on to the next thing. And that's kind of what I've been figuring out lately. There are a lot of things behind the scenes that people don't really know about, like how I do make thumbnails for certain people. I do as much as I can for other people, as much as I can for myself, as much as anyone can. For anyone, basically, if that makes sense to you. Like, I do try and help people out, and I make, cheap graphics or, just little things that if you're a smaller YouTuber and you need some thumbnails or some graphics, then I'll make them for you, and I won't charge that much. It's not going to be amazing, but it's not going to look bad, So that's kind of what I have been doing for a while, just to, whatever, stay in the industry in a sense. I played a lot of competitive Call of Duty this last year and a half, I would say. I kind of started playing tournaments and playing wagers and being slightly successful with that for a little bit, which I haven't really had time for now, and the newest Call of Duty is not very competitive in my opinion, and I'm not going to waste my time with it, if that makes sense. But I've just been doing a lot of different things. There have been a lot of things behind the scenes in my personal life, in my business, and just all of it that have kind of all came together at the worst time and affected everything I do, basically. So that's why I haven't been making videos as often as I could, or as often as I should. I know that might be an excuse. There are people in worse situations who make more consistent content than I do, or are in worse mental states than I am. And I'm not saying that you should, oh, pity you because you're going through shit. Everyone goes through shit. I understand that. But it's like, that's kind of what's been going on with me. That's one of the reasons why I haven't been doing too much or working too crazy on YouTube and gaming things specifically. I work on a lot of other things that, again, are behind the scenes nobody really knows about. All you guys really know about is when I put out the video and what I'm talking about in the video, or what game I'm playing. So, I think this is me talking about it's probably going to shed some light on a couple things. Like, I guess I could talk about Octochop, kind of what happened with that. I really wanted to do something where I could get a bunch of friends together and record good content and put it out consistently, but I just couldn't get everyone together, and certain people don't have certain things, and I don't have certain things, if that makes sense. And it just didn't work out. I don't know how to say it any other way. Of like, I really wanted it to happen, and I was hoping that things were gonna kind of come to fruition and things were gonna work itself out, but it just didn't end up happening, which is a shame. I think I'll still want to do something related to that, where I do have kind of like a channel where it's a bunch of people and they do content on that channel specifically, which is different from their content that they put out already, if that makes sense. Kind of like a Cowchop or a Creature Hub, RIP, or, things like that. If Achievement Hunter, just things like that, where it's like a community, and not a community, a bunch of people who make individualistic content different from the content they already put out, if that makes sense. So that's what I was kind of hoping with the Octochop thing. Just didn't end up happening, didn't have the time, didn't have the resources, and it just didn't work out. But I'm not stuck on it at all, but there's an update on what that's going on for. Basically, to put it in short terms, you know what I mean, to put it in the best words I can, I guess is what I should say. It is something I still want to do, but it's not possible right now, I think is the best way I could put it. The next thing that I was kind of wanting to talk about is what I want to do now, what I have a plan for the rest of the year in my, career of content creator, or however you want to call it. I plan on streaming quite often. Nitro has gotten his he's getting his situation ready for streaming. His internet was quite bad at his house. He's getting things worked out. And we want to go for it and just give it like a solid try. We want to give Twitch a solid try and hope that it works, or, I hope it works, basically is what I'm saying. But we're going to give that a solid try. That's kind of like what I've been working on as well, just getting graphics, getting everyone's graphics ready, getting, my streams stuff ready, getting OBS ready, starting soon, and my notifications, and just everything basically ready, because I kind of want to rebrand in a sense where it's like, it's not going to be the same that you saw before. It's going to be slightly better, I would hope. So that's kind of what I've been working on in the recent week or so, or the past couple of days, that is, and I've been working kind of hard on that, just trying to get everything ready, and everybody's kind of working kind of hard everybody's working hard to get it ready and get it going. On top of that, I want to do the podcast, obviously. I want to upload it every Saturday. I think I could get it out every Saturday, but I'm not sure. It really does depend what happens. I don't know if this one will go out on Saturday or Sunday. It should be one of the two. This is being recorded Friday, 16th of February, so it is going to be like a day delayed, I would think. A day delayed, I would think. But for now, I'm just going to upload this one whenever I can, because I don't think I can render this one out, get it on iTunes, get it on Spotify, or get it approved for those things before Saturday. So, that's just how it is. But I honestly don't think I'm going to put this one on SoundCloud or Spotify, because it isn't really about typical gamer, stuff. It's kind of about my personal stuff. So this will probably just be uploaded to my channel, and then, we can, this will kind of act as a pilot to set off the weekly podcast. Let's see, what other topic do I want to talk about? There are a bunch of new video games that are coming that I'm really excited for. There is a bunch of Destiny stuff that I'm really excited for. There's a lot of things to be excited for if you're a gamer, if that makes sense. There's a bunch of Telltale stuff, which I'm super excited about. They've announced, like, The Wolf Among Us Season 2. I believe they announced another Batman season. They're really crushing it. They announced Walking Dead Season 3, which is awesome. Or Season 4, technically, but they're calling it Season 3. I guess this last season they didn't really count as a season of The Walking Dead. They just called it, like, I forgot, it was like New Frontier or something. And it didn't really have to do much with the original story. It was kind of someone else's story. So they're counting that as a different season. But, you know, it's still something to get excited for. We haven't really gotten any Wolf Among Us content since the game first came out, whenever that was. It's got to be at least 3 years ago now, I would think. Around there, I would think, but I don't know. It's been a while. There are, I don't know, the gaming industry is really good right now, but it's also really stale. Esports as well. Esports is kind of stale right now. If you could say, I mean, Counter-Strike is okay. Counter-Strike does really well major-wise, like, you know, Boston or whatever the fuck the last one was, I forgot. Counter-Strike does really well, but other esports just seem to be having some problems. I mean, even League of Legends this year has kind of been lacking. Dota as well, I haven't really seen on the top of the viewership scale either. Call of Duty's obviously, like, super fucking low. Halo's super low. Rainbow is lower than all of those. So I just feel like esports is super stale right now. All the games that are kind of being played are just either being played for too long, or the games itself are just, it's not entertaining. Especially Call of Duty. I feel like Call of Duty is probably the least entertaining to watch, in my opinion, out of those games. Maybe other than MOBAs. I don't find MOBAs entertaining to watch, but that's my opinion. And obviously an unpopular one. So, you know, it is what it is. I feel like the esport industry is kind of not in a decline, because the esport industry is doing great from a business standpoint, but from a viewership standpoint, it's kind of shit. But moving on from that, I wanted to talk about, what was I want to talk about? I forgot. The Marvel universe a little bit. I kind of want to delve into that. Just, have you guys seen the Daredevil stuff? Have you guys seen any of that stuff? You know, just let me know. I'm gonna try not to spoil as much as I can, because, you know, that would be kind of fucked up. But I wanted to talk about Daredevil Season 3, which was announced, Jessica Jones Season 2, which was announced, and then the final Avengers, whatever. I think it's like they did a 2-part movie deal. I believe it's like part 1, part 2, which is okay. I don't mind it, you know. It just means that they couldn't fit all of the content that they were willing to put out in one movie. So I don't mind it. It's not like finals haven't done that before. Harry Potter and I think Hunger Games did the same thing. So it's not uncommon for these big, what am I trying to say? Not products. Big, I don't know. Big series. There you go. I don't know. These big movie series to end in a 2-part final. So I didn't really mind that. I thought it looked okay. They didn't really show much of it. What I didn't realize was that Guardians of the Galaxy was so important to the Avengers. And it's not the Avengers, but what is his fucking name? The Infinity Gauntlet, all those things. The main guy. Thanos, I think is his name. Thanos, yeah. How important that was to the storyline of the final Avengers, because, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 has been out. I'm going to spoil it a little bit. The girl, what was her name? I'm going to look this up. I'm literally going to look this up now. But the daughter, the green girl in Guardians of the Galaxy, is Thanos' daughter. And I didn't know that. I had no idea. Sorry about that. I had no idea that that's what that was. I didn't think it was gonna be that. She was gonna be that important. Gamora. There you go, Gamora. It's her, and then she has another sister, Nebula, who are daughters of Thanos. And I had no idea about that. And I had no idea that any of the Infinity Stone stuff was involved. It was just way more involved for the Avengers movie than I thought. I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was, in my mind, like, is just a standalone. Obviously was a part of the same universe, but not that important to the universe, if that makes sense. Just very similar, very important. I mean, I think Doctor Strange as well was kind of a surprise to me, to where it was pretty important to the storyline. But, you know, it took me by surprise. I didn't think it was going to be that important. I don't think, sadly, that any of the TV shows will be integrated into the Avengers movie, which is okay. It kind of sucks because I feel like they're kind of dumbing them down to smaller characters where I feel like they could be full movie, maybe full feature characters, but when I say characters like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, whatever, those smaller characters that only have Netflix spots, basically. I feel like they could be in feature films. Like, I wouldn't mind watching a Daredevil feature film if they decided to make one. I believe they're making a Black Widow feature film as well, like a Black Widow standalone, which I didn't know how I felt about that, but it is what it is, and I don't know how that's gonna work with the whole universe. I know Black Panther just came out, but you know, I'm sorry if you hear typing. Black Panther just came out. I know that wasn't. I don't think it was that important to the universe at all, really. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I know that I don't think it was that crazy to be honest. I didn't hear anything crazy. I don't think it's that important. What I did want to also talk about was the Disney schedule for what am I trying to say? For 2018. The Disney schedule for 2018 looks absolutely insane. There's let's see, there's Thor Ragnarok, Star Wars. Yeah, so there's Star Wars, Black Panther, and then I believe this is like a really shitty picture. I wish I could see more of this. Incredibles 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I didn't see the first Ant-Man movie. A lot of people said it was really good. There's another movie there that I can't really see, and then there's a gigantic Mulan, Mary Poppins, and Captain Marvel. And I believe that's before, yes, it is. That's all before the next, like, the final Star Wars movie, because there is a Star Wars Han Solo standalone in between all that. But that is all. There's so many movies that come before it. There's Avengers Infinity War, Incredibles 2, Star Wars, Ant-Man, Mulan, Gigantic, Captain Marvel, which I don't know how that's really going to go. But not that I'm going to watch all those movies. I'll probably only watch 3 of those, 4 of those max. But I think that all of that before Star Wars is kind of fucking crazy, if you really think about it. Because, I don't know, that's just a lot. That's a lot of movies. That's a lot of production. It's just a lot. And for everything before, I mean, that's like into 2019, I believe. That's even before 2020, so it is a lot. And then I believe there's a bunch of Avatar movies coming too. So there's a lot to see and a lot to look forward to that I wanted to talk about. But other than that, I really don't know. I kind of covered all the topics that I wanted to cover. Other than that, I don't really know. There's a bunch of fucked up stuff going on that I'm not going to talk about because it's negative, really. But other than that, other than the most obvious thing that I was saying was negative, which I'm sure you guys could guess, we're just probably going to end it short. I think I've talked about everything I want to talk about, covered all the topics I want to cover. I don't the next podcast will probably be a lot better. This one is kind of just thrown together and I didn't really have a plan for it. I just sat down and talked for 25 minutes. The next one should have, I'm hoping, an ad or a supporter, which would be great if I could get one, judging on how this podcast goes, I guess. But if you enjoyed it, just look out for the next one. I'm thinking it'll be next week. It'll probably be a lot better and a lot more entertaining than this one. But I think that's it. Thank you for watching.